And welcome back, everybody. We're about to jump into our next game. You can see Rocket hanging out backstage after picking up a win. And our two teams this time around will be H2K coming up against Copenhagen Wolves.
It's always fun when you win. Go to the fans. You don't have to stand there crying because you have faced yet another defeat. Don't know anything about that, obviously. But yeah, H2K against Copenhagen Wolves. And looking back at yesterday, difference almost couldn't be bigger. Yes, the Wolves did better than they usually did with their new players, Lenny and Cas, but it still wasn't enough. And H2K, they turned on the fire.
They really did. Back to form for H2K, who will be on the blue side, and they're fighting for sole control of second place if they can. Odoam there, Lulex, Ryu, Hyun, and Kasing and Prali. And as you mentioned, Crepo, just a great performance to break that little bit of a dip from H2K.
Yeah, and obviously they're facing on the other side the Copenhagen Wolves. They definitely need that win today because otherwise they'll face automatic relegation, and this is the lineup for them. Lenny in the top lane, Shook in the jungle, Soren mid, Freeze on the AD carry, Jesui Cas support. Dentist back in the coaching position. Obviously, 3 of their members speak Dutch. 2 of them are Belgian. You'd expect a lot from the Copenhagen Wolves, but sadly, it wasn't quite enough.
Wasn't going to say it, but on the other side, Odoamne looked fantastic. We've mentioned this sort of day and night between the two teams, and yesterday Odoamne pulled out the Shen. The whole team looked dominant, but just the taunt flashes were exceptional.
Yeah, and they set up beautiful chain CC, so everybody was ready for it. This was a normal taunt. Odoamne was showing that he practiced this champion for sure. And always really ready to follow up. That Ahri assassination potential was such a good pick.
Yeah, definitely worked out. I'm hoping we get the taunt flash under the Nexus turret. You see he'll actually zigzag it. But we also saw the Rylai's Crystal Scepter Ahri build coming out from Ryu, which showed up. The one thing I do want to mention from the team, though, they're fighting for sole control of second because Origin dropped the game yesterday. Which means they could take that next week. But in the interview, both Kasing and Prali were just talking about the loss to Fnatic and how it really tilted them. To me, it screams a little bit more of a psychological problem that a team they may need to deal with better.
To be fair, everything Kasing and Prali say in interviews, you may want to take with an ever so tiny pinch of salt because they do like to joke around a little bit. But yeah, obviously every time you face Fnatic, you feel you're ready and you're like, this time we're going to make the change. This time it's going to be our time, but sometimes it's just not enough.
Unfortunately not. Now, H2K fighting for second, Copenhagen Wolves are fighting for their lives. They need help from everybody else, and despite this game yesterday being the best performance they've had with the revised roster against Elements, it still simply wasn't enough. And if Copenhagen Wolves lose 1 of their next 3 games, this one included, they are automatically relegated for finishing in that 10th position.
Now they do play with less stress in that regard. Yes, you have the the burden of winning 3 games in a row, but if you in your mind you're already defeated, you can play with a lot less care, and that's actually what Candy Panna said on Twitter as well. If you have just that stress fall off of you, just play a lot more freedom, and then you play a lot better. So potentially the Wolves could come out swinging. But so far it looks like they're learning the game step by step, and they took a first or second step in towards progression. But if you look at how good H2K is holistically as a team, they are miles ahead.
And of course, yesterday for Copenhagen Wolves, they picked quite a high skill cap and high coordination team style. We'll see what they decide to do today. Jump back into the game very rapidly. Draven, Nidalee banned away, targeted towards Copenhagen Wolves. Freeze, of course. The 13th Draven ban. I love tracking these signature champion bans.
At least they left the mark on the LCS.
Rise and Siva banned from Copenhagen Wolves. So Rumble is still up. It was first picked yesterday.
Kalista is out, so double tier 1 AD carries out for the Wolves. One could argue that they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with that. Maybe a Caitlyn we'll see from Freeze. Usually teams are thinking about Corki at least. They're also thinking about Alistar in these positions. Want to pick up something strong. We'll see. I'm a fan myself of Alistar's support. It's just very simple to play, but you can do so much with it. Just a couple abilities in the right time, more position reliant, roaming, and that's something definitely Kasing is good at, especially when he groups up with his jungler Lulex, in unison, get that map vision control. And that has been the way to shut the Wolves down as a team. Just wait until the mid game, start warding up, and eventually your play patterns will be more evolved. And it's very, very rough, amateur-esque team, Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, had to replace their top laner and their support around 3 weeks ago. Difficult situation to be in. But the Lee Sin removed from Shook.
Yep, and the Nidalee.
Rek'Sai, and Gragas were still up. So Shook, he has played all of the above. He's also played Rengar, left a bit to be desired. See what he decides to lock in.
And H2K echo that sentiment that we made earlier, where it's all about map control vision, and now you have Tremor Sense to help you localize where those wolves are on the map. You have the map with wide mobility with that pool party Rek'Sai that you can use, get everywhere. But this, yeah, the Blitzcrank cover, this is indicative of what the wolves might do. They might just bring out the cheese, whip out the Gouda, get the Parmesan, scrape that on top of it, because conventionally you have been outclassed. But let's see when that cheese comes in, or if it does at all.
I have seen Blitzcrank work very effectively when planned. Won't be locked in this time. So let's talk about what is locked in. Lenny is going to try his hand at Rumble. It'll be the first time we're seeing him something that's not utility or tank focused.
Good pick and ban so far. Rumble, staple pick here in this patch, even better than it was before. Steal it away from Oduamna. Obviously, he might have the counter ready. Huni had the Riven counter ready yesterday. Thresh stolen away or borrowed from Kasing. Obviously, he still has that Alistar at his disposal, but offensive tools already from the Wolves. You know, Alistar is more of a defensive support unless you can aggressively get vision and roam and dive. Wolves don't have that coordination, so maybe a couple of hooks here and there could be the opening for them. Just tunnel in on that laning phase.
We need to see an individual performance step up. H2K looking to take second. Copenhagen's looking to avoid 10th.
Yep.
With Kalista out, with Siva out. Banned from the Wolves, you have to assume they knew Corki was going to get taken by Hyanin.
Yeah.
So what does Freeze want to run? I mean, he's one of the most notorious, better-known AD carries in Europe. But the priority picks are not there.
When you're in a struggling team, you start thinking more isolated in terms of laning power, and then you're thinking, okay, what can I do? I can take down this bottom lane tower on my own. I can outrange my opponent. Everything's off the table. I will go for Caitlyn. But the problem is, if you step out of that small reference frame and you look at the big picture, at the map, then H2K says, fine, you know, take my tower. I will just continue to wave clear Koki. I will let Kasing roam wherever you want. And then the Wolves are stuck with the next step. We're not talking about hovers here.
No.
It's too much effort in that. H2K, the problem with this second rotation as well is it is fully expected, and they're not giving away any information, what they're doing with their composition. At least locked in here, so good, big potential on this bottom lane, honestly. Lantern into Cocoon, or Lantern into bringing in at least an offensive repel. Cocoon, many gap closers. Can pressure that tower too, at least can group up with Thresh and Caitlyn to just siege that turret on the bot lane, so there is play potential for the Wolves, but will they execute it?
Well, they definitely can't afford to fall behind because there's not much of a front line. We'll see whether or not Shook decides to itemize into tank Elise or AP Elise. We've seen both kick as his swan song in his last game. Picked up a victory for the first jungle Elise of the split. For H2K, they've got to decide. Oduamne, what does he run into? Rumble? Will it be the Shen once more? And will Ryu fall back to the Ahri?
And H2K as a team will have to decide, are we running conventional stuff, double poke, double tanky frontline with a damaged top laner? Or are we going the control mage style with the Ryu on Victor? Are we going for assassination on Ahri? They have endless potential to practice these compositions on the LCS stage, so they might opt for something slightly out of the ordinary, but so far, they do value their win. They want to play secure. Beyond that, Victor that has seen a resurgence over in Europe, obviously played a lot over in the LCK. I initially wasn't a fan against it if there's a lot of offensive dive to get to you, so you need peel. So I do like it when you play Victor with a Shen in the top lane, for example, or a Maokai as we saw last game. Alistar, Rek'Sai, Shen, that's triple peel. Then you can afford to spec heavy into damage in the mid lane, especially since your AD carry is kind of weak on damage too.
And last lock in there, Crepo. Soren picked a champion that, honestly, he got dumpstered by. Fox ran Irelia into his Victor.
Do upon them as they do unto you is his motto for the day. But Copenhagen Wolves team comp kind of screams, I wouldn't say solo queue, but just comfort picks.
Yeah.
It's okay, I want this for my lane, I want this for my lane. We're going to try and get ahead and snowball because as a team comp, you know, it's not really going to work. And H2K, they might take a bit on the back foot, you know, slow down into the mid game. Nice and easy. Get in there and then get the vision control. Things you want to look for is dives with Rek'Sai Alistar, with Shen on the top. Unbreakable tanking tower with the Shen delivery system with the headbutt is something really strong you could do. Keeping Ryu alive on Victor is the main focus of this game, and they have all the tools to do so. However, it's still up to Ryu to get the positioning in. But he's shown in the past that he can very well do that.
If you'd said a different player name, I would have been more concerned.
Yeah.
But when you say Ryu's positioning...
And he will always stay calm.
Really?
On his face, at least.
Never noticed. Hashtag H2K win. Can they get another win to distance themselves from Origin?
Or will it be hashtag CW win? If you believe in a magical upset from the Copenhagen Wolves, it is all possible because every game still has to be played on the Rift.
Soren on that mid lane Irelia. And it is the matchup that we have seen him win in the past. Take a quick look at your summon spells. It is Flash Ignite versus Ryu's Flash Cleanse to get rid of that Equilibrium Strike stun or Cocoon or Death Sentence, any form of those multiple CCs that could come in.
The Wolves came to play double Ignite, one in the mid, one in the bot lane. They want action. They want to get ahead early.
I feel they have to do that as well. The only thing I would hazard as a minute caution for H2K is a lot of magic damage. But
They have a play here in mind. They know that it's likely that H2K might prompt a lane swap here, so when they do, H2K obviously will want to get deep wards. When they do that, the Wolves will be waiting. We might see, this could actually be a beautiful opening to this game, Trevor.
if the Wolves move,
Shh.
if the Wolves move,
Hang on, that's one.
Oda taunts his way out and stays alive! The taunt heal!
Oh, the damage taunt does damage reduction if I remember correctly. This time, they actually used the Ignite. Yesterday, I believe the Wolves had a face check where they didn't use the Ignite. Cos led it to be sore. Oh, Wolves. This is what Tilt is made of. Yesterday, they face check, you don't get them. This day, face check again, but it's a tank. Odoamne with the door and shield. Honestly, that saved his ninja behind. Game starts even. He doesn't even sacrifice a flash. Kasink pulverized flashed offensively, I believe, to save him. Kasink's flash was used at least. So, what could have been a beautiful early game full of chaos ended up with a, seems to be a lane swap. Alright, this matchup. We talked about it before, the last time it came out. It is all about dashing aggressively on the Irelia. However, Soren probably skilled E for that level 1 face sec. That's something they didn't do actually. They didn't stun Odoamne, I believe. They damaged him before, and then obviously Equilibrium Strike will not stun because there's no equilibrium. You have more damage than he has health, therefore you will not stun him. But Soren wants to wait for level 2, then he wants to start zoning Ryu with dash to these creeps and threatening him with the stun. However, Ryu right now is comfortable to poke. Here we go.
So there's the dash in with Blade Surge, early level 2. And look at the trade. Soren will be happy until the Siphon Power.
Yeah, and you want to leave a minion as your exit path every time. So you dash in, execute the minion, Q resets, stun, auto, dash out again. Disappear before counter damage can happen. But Ryu, obviously, master of the mid lane.
It was Fox last time that showed Soren the ways. A aggressive wave clear Valkyrie from Hjarnan, as we are in that lane swap scenario. So we did see Lenny was holding hands with Shook in the jungle. He'll be moving up to the top half, and Odoamne has now come to the bottom tower.
The Copenhagen Wolves stole Rumble away from Odoamne, so Hjarnan would distribute to the Equalizer, the miniature version of the Valkyrie, saying, hey, we can do that too.
I believe you called it a cosplay.
Cosplay, yeah.
Equalizer one day.
Cosplay. Call it what you want. Clear the minions. Standard 3v0. Start here now in the lanes. This is an evolution from the 4v0. People figure out, hey, we're doing this slightly suboptimally. We don't really need that tower that quickly because teams that take it 20 seconds later, you know, they're okay doing that. So we rather let a jungle continue to jungle. Lulex is finding his jungle empty though. Getting a little bit behind to Shook. Shook's already level 3. Lulex is still level 2. And this is something we've seen before when he falls behind and goes for that signature dive. If that thing gets denied, then the H2K kind of falls behind.
So for Lulex, small disadvantage. Where does he find his farm? Towers have been evened, one apiece. H2K now looking to reset their lanes.
Yeah, and they're bouncing the waves for the top laners. I actually talked to a fan here yesterday. He said, I started watching League of Legends this year. Why are they letting those creeps die? So let's explain it one more time. If you let the creeps die to the tower, it will mean that the wave that's coming in will push back. And obviously you will receive all that farm and CS and gold on your side, and you will deny the enemy more creeps. So that's what you want to do. You bounce the wave backwards towards your top laner to get Lenny fed. And then on the bot lane, they bounce the wave backwards towards Odoamne. So you don't want to get it too far back, because you want to leave some pressure, even that out.
Well, we did see a brief glimpse of that middle lane. Shook is making his way in. Shook, one of the shining lights of the Copenhagen Wolves. Face check. There's the cleanse coming out. Equilibrium Strike is out in the gravity field. Maybe even a turnaround. There's no Ignite follow-up.
And this is why Rio's obviously running cleanse right here. The audience agrees with a mild clap.
Golf clap.
Golf clap. I'll let it live. But yeah, Rio wants to run cleanse. Cocoon is there. Equilibrium strike is there. Way better than heal. Why not prevent damage, run away rather than heal it up later? So good summer choice by him. He went to ward for the impending threat of a gank. Just fraction too late.
Yeah. Found the impending gank and was forced to use his cleanse. The mid lane has reset, but look at the invade from H2K. Kasing and Lulex a little bit outnumbered. Cocoon is going to connect on the cow. Here comes Soren. He's been interrupted by Pulverize. Chilling smite on Shook. Kasing's trying to get away. He's headbutted Soren out, but first blood secured on that Irelia, and Lulex forced to flash.
A couple nice plays there. Shook was waiting for the Pulverize to come out. Now he needs to repel.
He's going to repel to minions. Gets away from the gravity field.
So the first time actually we see Kaz work together with Shook as a buddy system. That was so known from H2K from doing that. Lulex and Kasing do it all the time. This time Kaz is ready, going for the Flay Lantern here.
Flay connects, the stun comes out, the death sentence follows into the Cocoon. Copenhagen Wolves stack the CC and pad their kill score.
Teleport got cancelled from W8D2. Not sure if that was a cupcake from Caitlyn or he just wasn't, you know, faithful enough that it was going to work out. The Wolves, they came to play 2-0 up right now. Beautiful chain CC. Kaz a lot more comfortable than he was yesterday. Thresh definitely working for him so far. He helped Chook out first, handling it around. They knew Ryu was vulnerable. Found an opening. 1.2k gold ahead. This is unheard of.
At this
from
time
the
frame,
Wolves.
especially with this lineup. There's a replay.
Ryu, I believe he still has flash right now, so he's gonna get flayed. He could technically flay right now. Doesn't flay the hook either. Oh, yeah. He gets stunned mid flash animation. That's what happened. And Shook knows that if he just closes the gap for the Cocoon, it's enough to take Ryu down. And there is no range for freeze on the bot lane, so W8D2 cancel that teleport himself. So he wasn't in full communication with Lulex whether they could, you know, get that kill. Perhaps they could have gotten a return kill, but then they would lose bottom tower. Freeze has been chipping away at that. 50 CS now on the board.
Despite missing first blood in the face checks yesterday and today, and despite the roster swaps, Copenhagen Wolves actually get first blood in half of the games they play. But it seldom gets to more. This time round, Soren, he's gone all in! Chaos Storm and a gravity stun! Ryu, has he outplayed the Chaos Storm and Minions? Ryu!
I'm watching NA LCS because Gravity is coming out on top. In the end of that trade here, Ryu, beautiful.
Look at Soren!
Realization, and yeah, Soren is an emotion. He's laughing. He knows, he knows. He was this close. One more proc, one more auto. But yeah, Ryu. Some people would run away there. Ryu just turns around and says, okay, you're stuck in tower range.
If there's anybody that's going to learn a lesson from being all-in, it's Ryu. For those uninitiated, Ryu lost one of the most epic ZvZ battles.
Let's not...
This isn't quite near
give props to the Wolves for doing well, but let's not put Soren on the same pedestal as Faker just yet.
I was just trying to say, Ryu learned to turn it around against lesser opponents.
Obviously, this is crucial though for this matchup. If Soren got that kill, that could have snowballed everything. However, he's still strong. Has a Sheen first on Aurelia. That's a lot of trading potential. Want to dash in, stun, Sheen proc. Need a little more, get on Sheen proc, dash the hell out of there, or use your second Q offensively, but then you're stuck. No way out. He's here, wants to base 69 CS pickaxe. That usually means he has about 1.5k in the bank. Check that real quick if he has his money ready for that BF sword. He does indeed, so he wants to get BF and boots in base and start sieging more towers. Same thing that H2K is doing on the top lane. Gold is evening out ever so slowly.
So H2K 2-2 in towers. They're down 1-2 in kills. That small gold lead that Copenhagen Wolves had built up is now evening out.
But Soren has the pressure. Yesterday the Wolves were getting pushed in all across the board. This time they have pressure on bot, they have pressure in mid. Lenny is doing relatively well. He has the hunting guys finished. W8D2 on the tank shen is kept down, at least. You want to be a main tank, but then you need items to do that. We're looking for Freeze.
Taunt is going to connect. Freeze will find the lantern. Well played by Jesui.
Kaz.
Too many words.
Yeah. Just call him Cheese.
Okay.
Cheese a dog.
Cheese Dog has got away. FYI, Shook has gone Cinder Hulk as opposed to the likes of Runglaive or AP.
Yep.
So tank Elise. I was worried about a front line. That might be a little bit more of it.
Now Spectre's Cow and Ruby Crystal is finished on W8D2, so he has some magic resistance health, so he can start combating Lenny a little bit better right now, so they will start matching up because he wants to get more experience, more levels. He's, however, 15 CS down, and Odoamne is traditionally not a player that plays too well from behind unless H2K as a team help him. So if CW can keep pressuring mid lane and bot lane, prevent the help coming upwards to Odoamne, perhaps they can keep him down in the game. And that is a win condition. We are not cheering for wards, cheering for blood.
And Copenhagen Wolves are looking for it. Cast has flash available.
Good pink ward there, side lane mid, so more offensive pressure from the Wolves, looking for cocoons over the wall. Soren has zone control in the mid lane. However, it's very hard to dive when you have Stan United up and Alistar, so it's likely that the Wolves are setting up this zone here to initiate a dragon, bait the H2K out of their den, and then teleport behind.
Copenhagen Wolves started the dragon. Is the bait enough? Nobody from H2K seems all that interested. You can see the numbers in the middle to upper half of the map.
And look at Lenny, he pings out immediately. He knows if we're doing an aggressive play on the bottom side of the map, that means top lane is exposed. Cross map objectives, always have to look out for that. If you're a struggling team and you find yourself coming one step too late, try and predict what the enemy is doing and move to the other side of the map. Lenny this time, he realized that, took a step backwards, so another adaptation from the Wolves that we did not see yesterday.
Copenhagen Wolves maintain that small lead. They maintain some pressure on the map. Soren's cleared out that mid wave. BF sword and pickaxe was picked up by Freeze, and you can see Soren again continuing to try to shove the wave in. So Copenhagen Wolves are dictating the lane pressure at the moment.
Look what Soren's doing as well. He's baiting the Victor spells to come out, dashes back to dodge and dashes back in. So he leaves 4 minions on low HP, and then the beautiful blade dance kind of comes out. Wants to confuse his enemy by moving left, right, and center. See, Ryu doesn't really care. He says, I'm here for the minions. You can dash around all I want. Yeah. I am 15 CS up.
Ryu's still winning in the CS battle.
Now let's see. This is the mid game. 12 minutes, all the early to mid game. How well have the Wolves developed their vision control? Shook with a good read. He knows Lenny will get ganked here. Odoamne needs help. It's coming.
Equalizer's going to be available in a few seconds. Taunt's not going to connect. Lulex is coming in. There's the aggressive repel, and the equalizer goes way wide. Odoamne goes down to Shook. Now Lulex will reply. It's 1-for-1 as a jungler and top laner are trade. Lenny does not have turret aggro, but Ryu's looking for some blood. I think he'll find it as well. Made his way up to the tri-bush. Lenny's overheated and knocked up. Siphon power, Death Ray, 2-for-1.
They deny experience from Odoamne. Going on Kasing, level 5, no unbreakable.
Kissing's in trouble. Transcendent Blades is coming out. There's the Stand United now as Odoamne is healed up. Soren's going low. The taunt misses this time round. Flash forward from Hyonin. The Frostbomb will not connect. We do see the Lantern Shield keeping Soren alive. Defensive play. And even the trap.
It's a trap. Run.
Facepalm.
But mid tower is exposed right now. Freeze is out of mana. Shook is coming back 2 times. The Wolves overreach. They know they have to play aggressive to win, but you can't just do blind aggression because H2K will punish that. Look at Rio, full HP.
Should be able to get the tower, Crepo. So Copenhagen Wolves end up trading 2-for-1 in kills, but trading 1-for-1 in towers, an insta-cleanse from Ryu.
Yeah, doesn't want to get chance to see there. Shook, he wanted to get the cocoon before Odoamne could flash, but Odoamne knew that either cocoon will come out there or flash cocoon will taunt in the diagonal path to not get CC there. And then Shook, yeah, he could have opted out because he felt, I've used my flash, therefore it is the rule, I have to commit for the kill. Baited Lenny in, good collapse from H2K. They always move over a member. When you initiate on the side, either they move cross map or they immediately send help, but they always try to do something instead of watch. And Ryu is in control, even though he gave up those early kills and had the jungle pressure against him. Now 2-1-0, 20 CS up.
I do think we have to give some praise to the Copenhagen Wolves. Yesterday they were up at 10, today they were up at 10. Individually they're making some plays, but exactly as you said in Picks and Bans, Crepo, the moment we get to mid-game and to team decisions and rotations, H2K start to pick up the flack and they've already turned the gold lead around.
Definitely so, but I like what the Wolves are bringing to the table today, more so than yesterday. It's okay to lose a game if the other team is winning it and taking it away from you. It is not okay to lose a game if all you do is sit back and just let it happen. They're going for these plays. Aggression in the mid lane. They had a level 1 idea of the face check. They honestly read what H2K would do in the game. So strategically, the first few bricks are being laid for that wall, but the wall will not be up in time, it seems.
Too late, I'm afraid. Mind if the Copenhagen Wolves drop this game, they will be confirmed 10th, and we see Copenhagen Wolves now under a little bit of pressure, Kasing posturing aggressively.
Now we see the traditional way of H2K to play the game, slightly altered. Usually at this point in the game, Ryu moves to the bot lane, Hjarnan moves to the mid lane, but because Ryu is so low mobility and Hjarnan has a Valkyrie, they're keeping him bot. Cass, there's a trap there too.
Death Sentence trap, Cocoon, tunnel comes out, Ace in the Hole was used as well. Shook was looking for a repel, wasn't going to get it, but the equalizer!
Burn, baby, burn!
Lenny is dead!
Oh,
wow, Lenny secures the kill is what I wanted to say. Now Kasing's in trouble, he's going to throw down the Unbreakable Will. Odoamne gets the taunt, Freeze gets another one. It's 5-3 in kills. Hjarnan's joined this fight late. Frostbomb is out, he's hurting, but it's a double kill for Freeze. The Cocoon! Shook! And Copenhagen Wolves regain the gold lead. Hjarnan's gonna do what he can, but he goes down as well.
And this was 4 against 5. Look at the top lane. Soren wasn't even in this fight. Wolves, what did you have for breakfast? Full-on aggression. A couple ever so minor misplays, but it didn't matter. They caught H2K off guard.
If this trend continues, Crepo, Copenhagen Wolves are on track to have their first gold lead at 20 minutes in 11 games.
Let's watch this again. They hook him into the trap. Shook doesn't realize because he goes for the Cocoon. They don't stack the TC efficiently, so this warrants the need for an equalizer, but beautiful equalizer comes in here on the jungler. Don't even know where Lenny came from, but he was there. Flashlight misses, but that's fine. Watch Cass right now. Walk, walk, walk. Look forward, but hook sideways. Thresh turns at the side of the hook animation, or at the end of the hook animation towards his side. Shook is zoning out Kasing. He knows he can 1v1 him later. Then Cass, Freeze, and everybody's dealing it.
Oh, was that a kick? No,
that was
not a replay.
Not a replay.
The same play. This time, it doesn't connect though. Shook needed to get the lantern out. Wow, everybody wants this dragon.
They're not leaving us any time to analyze this game, and frankly, I'm loving it. The Wolves, they came to play, and this is exactly what they should have done earlier. Good progression by them. They are now up 3,400 gold, or 2,400 gold rather, against H2K. And Soren, he's back in the game. Triforce Spike. He becomes a split pusher. Mid lane Aurelia will eventually become a top lane Aurelia, but that's fine. The Legends at this point in the state of the game, you don't really have to confine yourself to your traditional lanes. H2K though managed to force Wolves out, get the dragon.
So 1-1 in Dragons. Copenhagen Wolves 3,000 gold up. Trying to play the side lane now. Infinity Edge for Freeze with his first triple kill since week 1. And starting to overcome some of that power drop if he can get his shift picked up.
And look at Odoamne, he's behind a little bit in levels. Usually he's so far ahead as the split push threat, but because Shen was put in a lane swap, Rumble functions so much better in that scenario. So Wolves, they found the right lanes, found the right level 1 play, they found picks, they found fights. Look at the kill participation too. Shook 2, 1 in 6. 100% kill participation on him.
Praised him yesterday, and praised him last week. Since Shook has come in, he's done a lot of work for the Wolves, but unfortunately, it hadn't equated to much back then.
Yeah, initially he looked a little bit out of element. But he's picking up steam again, back to his traditional team. He did play for Copenhagen Wolves before.
Yeah, it does seem that he's making somewhat of an alliance with the rest of the Wolves, making those games count. Soren forced to retreat on the lantern from Cass.
Look at Freeze in the mid lane. This is, honestly, you would expect H2K being the team doing its aggression, lantern out, Freeze chipping away at mid tower, pushing the bottom from Lenny. Copenhagen Wolves borrowing a page or two out of the book of H2K and honestly doing it well.
Copenhagen Wolves playing the waves. They've got a gold advantage, a kill advantage, even on towers and dragons. But how do they break through the wave clear that Victor and Corki have to offer?
Have to rotate or bait away and move for these neutral objectives. But yeah, Lenny and Cass, much better performance here. We do know that Belgians tend to perform better under pressure as relegations draw closer. But yeah, honestly, I'm impressed so far with his Thresh. He's not afraid to make these moves. He went for a couple of flash plays, and even if it fails, it indicates a more positive, aggressive mindset. And it's better to go for a play and fail at this point for the Copenhagen Wolves than just sit back and be like, at least they can't blame me if we lost. It's type of mentality.
Exactly what you mentioned regarding Candy Panda and SK. And you said, look, when we play as though there's no weight on our shoulders, what a difference. And SK dismantled Unicorns yesterday. Today, the Wolves have got a strong lead, but the biggest challenge is those inner turrets. that is what didn't work yesterday for Caitlyn. So let's see whether or not Freeze and the Wolves can get past Odoamne, can get past the inner turrets. And there you have it. First gold lead at 20 minutes in 11 games. This is number 16, I'll have you know. So
It's a long time ago.
it is.
Must feel good for the Wolves, because having to shot call from behind is a tremendously hard task. Shot calling it from ahead makes it a lot easier, much more options at your disposal. Mid lane is exposed, they could go for a bit of a push, get vision. Obviously they will have to deal with Odoamne, he does like split pushing on that Shen. The only issue you have with rotating Soren from mid to top is that he doesn't have a teleport to join your team, so you can't really capitalize as well on your split push. However, he has kill pressure with Ignite on Odoamne, but it'll take a while to get through that tanky Shen.
There's a few itemization changes here. Ryu's opted for a sort of first item Rylai's. Hex Drinker for Soren, not too surprising. We see the Aegis for Lulix, which I know you're going to love to see, Crepo. And some Magic Pen from Shook, relying on Elise's base damages before building some defensive stats. So a few big pickups across the board. Freeze, of course, also with the static Shiv.
Lenny building towards a typical Rumble build here. Shook wants to find out where the enemies are and kill them with the aggression. We have seen full tank CC bot. At least Shook is not a player like that. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to be able to 1v1 carries. If he finds Ryu, he might be able to do it. He finds the Grump. Gets that. Ryu back to wave clear, but the pressure is slowly shifting towards H2K, and this is what we talked about. Step 1, 2, and 3 perhaps for the Wolves.
Hey.
But first time a lead in 11 games. Obviously step 4 is foreign. They have to remember, we watched some VODs, you know, what would SKT do?
Yes, this is now foreign territory for the Copenhagen Wolves.
Look at the damage
been
though.
in this position.
Good trade. He has Ignite up, so dives could be imminent on Odoamne.
Well, thought Odoamne was going to take a little longer to get melted, but Soren does have max rank in the Heathen style.
Lenny could teleport mid, bot, or top rather, right here and force Odoamne out. He could also teleport mid. He has many options at his disposal. Wolves.
Well, he can't teleport when he's being jumped by Chaos Storm. That was a defensive flash from Landon.
But he has teleport and rumble. He can base and switch it around right here.
So, tower secured. Soren gonna try get away. Stand United's being channeled. Defensive
Teleport
flash of Soren over the wall. Teleport coming down from Lenny. It will complete. He's instantly taunted. Can't even get the equalizer off as Kasing chain CCs.
Perhaps would have been wise to cancel that one. Freeze, however, chipped away the middle tower. Ryu is split push duty. This is H2K at their finest. Ryu in the bot lane, the rest in the mid lane. He 1v1 Lenny there. See, this was a good setup from the Wolves. They were just missing that final push. They forced Odoamne out. Soren is strong. He's the man to watch right now, but Ryu, he kind of overstayed. Look at the bottom here. No mana. This should be a kill for Freeze.
He's got a flash. He's got a cleanse.
Steal it, cast. Steal it.
Freeze is just not... Wow.
Went for the assist.
Shook is in trouble. Gonna repel away. Flashes over the wall.
Boon coming out.
Cocoon in a few seconds. Connects! Shook, can he dodge the missile? Spiderlings. Lulix has flashed for this. Chilling smite. Prey Seeker. I mean, I got a bit excited. It was pretty obvious that was going to happen. But now Soren, he wants more. Look at Lenny coming in from the side. Void Rush is going to get cancelled and interrupted. Blade Surge over the wall. Lulix will be going down, and it's Lenny that gets a kill.
4-0-2 on Freeze. He's doing the Raptors. Looks over his shoulder. Says, okay, there's Lulix in my jungle. Ace in the hole. Back to the Raptor camp. Easy peasy. He finished himself up the static Shiv. Honestly, he has not been that involved. He's the cleanup crew. The janitor. And Steelback's no longer in the LCS. He's looking to adopt that moniker. Quite opposite to his traditional style, kinda. The Draven-esque type of champions, but Copenhagen Wolves here. 1-1. And H2K has a mindset. This may come as a blow because you're expecting in your head to go for that buy. You say, okay, OG lost. We only have the Wolves today. Let's face it, that's something members will be saying. Should be an easy victory. Now they find themselves behind 3,000 gold and a resilient bunch of Wolves keeping this game even.
I'm going to go back to that pinch of salt interview we had yesterday with Kasing and Prolly. And they were saying, Prolly was saying that all of H2K's losses in the last week or so is because of the Fnatic loss. Now again, it is an over-dramatization, and it is Prolly. What if you drop a game to Copenhagen Wolves? What does that do to a mindset? Honestly, probably just say, well, we messed up.
Yeah, we messed up.
Yeah.
But at this point in the season, neither team really has the chance to mess up. Now let's look at some pressure from Soren. Ryu is putting so much pressure on the map right now. Look top, he's always hitting these towers. Yes, he may die in the process, but he got himself a tower, so hashtag worth Wolves, they're grouping up in a pack to find an opening, but H2K, traditional 1-3-1, they're almost have, this is like when you watch wrestlers pin somebody down. You can get away until you're locked into that 1-3-1, then it becomes very hard. So they have about 30 seconds right now to push out mid or deal with the bot lane, otherwise this 1-3-1 will become very, very difficult rather to get out of.
What we have seen for Copenhagen Wolves is Soren is able to at least deal with Odo. He was able to put a lot of damage down.
Oh, Ryu might flash hook.
Flash. Oh! Cheese is in the house. The Cocoon follows suit. Odo is channeling the Stand United. Chaos Storm mostly mitigated by the Hourglass, and the Equalizer comes down. Lenny's got the kill onto Ryu. Freeze gets the kill onto Lulex, and another Cocoon hook.
Fantastic
High
use
fives
of vision
all around.
here.
1-2 freezes? That's going to be a great kill for the Copenhagen Wolves. 3-0.
I believe that was his twin brother. And Soren is still at the bot lane. This was beautiful usage of vision, honestly, from Copenhagen Wolves. Cast with a bold play. I'm not sure if he actually saw Ryu or if he was playing the guessing game with the hook connect. And because Copenhagen Wolves didn't really know how many people were committing to that play, Odo, because H2K didn't know that, Odo connected with Stand United. He landed and suddenly he finds himself collapsed on by 4 Wolves members. Lulex came in too late. One by one, H2K were dropping like flies. And on the bot lane, Soren pressure's even harder. Fantastic play by the Wolves.
Soren's got 2,500 gold. Inner turret top is down. Inner turret bottom is down. Cajun's not needed to push it because Soren's Aurelia's alone.
Let's watch that again. It's vision from both sides. The flash hook, beautiful. Cocoon max range. Played out of the box. Arguable whether that was necessary or not. Lenny, good Zonias here, because Odo doesn't know what to do. Taunts as the Zonias runs out. Luix comes in, but freezes here, untouched. So even if Lenny drops, they're still going to pick up 3 kills. Kasing peeks in his head around the corner, says, yeah, I'm out. Hjaran doesn't share that sentiment. He wants to run away later as well. Look at the bot lane. That tower was alive in replay. It no longer is. Soren took that down, so 5,000 lead from the Copenhagen Wolves.
27 minutes. Towers up, dragons up, kills up. I still don't know who's going to deal with Soren's Aurelia.
And now Shook is getting tanky as well. After this offensive penetration build, he can now spec into the Aegis, later the Locket too. Works beautiful. Vorpal Blades, Prey Seekers, Ryu's damage, Sharna's damage. This is probably the most efficient Aegis of the Legion that we've seen. And because they're ahead right now, the Wolves don't have to sacrifice damage for these defensive items because they can go damage first, defense second. And it's such a comfortable position to play with a gold lead. Just have to avoid getting caught. Close out the game. Can they do it?
Same theory for H2K, avoid getting caught. But how do you do that when Cast is landing flash hooks consistently?
Yeah, we talked about this composition, double threat with, honestly, Corki that falls off in the late game. So all our eyes will be on Ryu. Odo does not have the split push advantage anymore. So that is one check removed. This should be a bait here. Are they starting the Baron? Nope. They want to fake the Baron right now. Just get the Crying Orb. That's Crying Orb out. Don't get caught doing the Baron. Just don't start it because they have to face it eventually.
The B word. Which one will it be?
That goes down
Favor
quick though.
of the Wolves. It's being melted. 4,000 HP. 3,000. Lulex has got in. Cleanser's already been used. Kasing gets a very good knockup. Lenny's gone golden. He's spitting out flames. Death Ray and the Gravity Field. Nobody's died yet.
A little hesitation on the side of the Wolves. They started Baron, but weren't comfortable with the 50-50 smite. Starting it again. This is honestly, could be the seed of their defeat. Copenhagen Wolves doing it in full vision of H2K. They obviously know what's going on. And that's always a tricky situation to be in, you know, because 1 or 2 more seconds of patience and hesitation on the side of H2K could have won you the game with that Baron. H2K have a good grasp of how long it takes to take that Baron. They move in at the right time. Wait until the Wolves are chunked. Low, lost HP, lost some cooldowns. Then they sweep in. Gold gap closed down to 4,000 gold right now.
Yeah. H2K got their 5th tower of the game, but with the Baron being used as a big bait, Copenhagen Wolves historically not had the greatest. But again, when you're 2-13.
Oh, Ryu might get engaged on here. PP comes in.
Teleport's coming up. Again, there's the cleanse there from Cons. The death sentence, one more. 5v4, this is surely going to be Baron.
Yeah, this now you can bait the Baron by doing it because you want them to face it. Lulex, come here, says Kaz. I will flay you away. He's on zone control duty, hunting the Rek'Sai.
So let's find out. Baron
Hold the
being
flame, hold the
focused.
flame. Just hold the flame for the tunnel. That's all you have to do.
Secured. Cast is now going to be looking
Too early.
A little bit early. Got the lantern. Going to go over. Soren should be able to do it as Freeze gets the kill.
It buys him enough time for his team to follow up. Good CC management, I guess, from Cass. And the Wolves are 6,000 gold in the lead. They have a Baron buff. Ryu is down. Guds is down on him. Flash is up now.
Now I really want to see a Banner of Command. Another death sentence, but it's not on
Blade
the
into the
man you
cocoon.
want. Blade Cocoon. 0-1, they're forced to flash. Banner of Command means Victor cannot kill that minion. Means Corky's rockets cannot kill that minion. Do it, Wolves. Do it for me. Copenhagen Wolves, 7,000 gold in the lead. 9 kills up. A Dragon up. A Baron up. This is on track to be the biggest upset of the summer split.
Definitely so, and it is honestly, except the upset of Elements beating Fnatic later, this will be the biggest upset.
Maybe it's Upset Friday.
Upset Friday, indeed. But yeah, it's always fun to joke around. Also about that Banner of Command, call it Banter of Command if you will.
I'll
Really
remember
waiting,
that.
really waiting for that to come out. It's a little late though if it comes out after the Banner buff, and kind of inefficient if you already have a locket, so perhaps we'll see it a different day.
Stop killing my dreams, Crapo.
Group recall, Dragon number 3. It's looking great. However, all inhibitors are still alive, all base towers are still alive. We've seen this before. Certain teams in the LCS nearing the bottom part of the standings have had issues closing. But so far, good. I wouldn't even call it textbook play from the Wolves. Honestly, good aggressive play from the Wolves.
Individual members stepping up.
Definitely so.
Cass is having a great game. Soren in lane, despite getting 1v1 while ahead, also having a great Irelia performance. Constantly forcing people from H2K to deal with him. And Freeze is basically fully enabled. BT, Ayed, Shiv, and Last Whisper. There's still room to grow, of course, but that is a terrifying Caitlyn as we've gone over 31 minutes.
Maximum velocity on the pain train right here for Copenhagen Wolves. They started out as graphite, but put in enough pressure on them. Emerged a beautiful diamond.
See whether or not they have focus to finish this.
Well, the split machine in top lane. Soren doing the same in the bot lane. No teleport on Soren, obviously, since he's running Ignite. Odo does have teleport and Stand United. The Wolves putting pressure in the mid lane.
We'll secure this tower despite having no minions, and Cast is going to be able to zone away H2K. Ryu only got that death cap and Rylai's to play with.
Baron is gonna fade anytime right now. They're clearing this wave, so that's one pressure point gone. 30 more seconds for bot wave. Mid wave, they have to find an opening here because Odo is knocking on the top door.
There is a flash available for Cast. Will he find a target? Soren, however's got Yarn, and Stand United's coming out. Soren's got him! 1v1 and under the tower. Equalizers down from Lenny. They're burning out Lulex. Freeze is going to go 8-0-2. The death sentence from Cast connects.
Odo
Another
is
cleanse.
stuck in the top lane because he used Stand United. He could teleport down, but he's choosing to base. And Inhibitor's gonna drop on the bot lane. H2K, save what you can.
Copenhagen Wolves have cracked open the base. The tower's down and an inhibitor will follow shortly. Odo one there. I don't know if you want this one.
Look at the control. Zoning control from Soren. Everybody's afraid of the dash E because he doesn't do enough damage on his Q ability to actually put them low enough that the equilibrium strike doesn't stun. So good zone control there. Copenhagen Wolves exit. Baron led into inhibitor. 3 dragons on the board. 17 kills to 6. And bases.
Copenhagen Wolves. Stunning turnaround game. Remind everybody, if the Wolves end up losing, they're guaranteed auto relegation. If they end up winning, the Wolves have to then take down Rockets and Giants. Hope SK lose a few games to make it into ninth, to make it into the promotion tournament. The chances are still there. And what a way to start for the Wolves.
Let's take a look at builds here. Double the Yandere is finished. Obviously this item has been changed in patch 5.13. More base AP damage on that item. Percent damage is likely still the same. Rumble obviously more of a tier 1 pick, and Shook is adding to the damage pool right here, and the Wolves threats everywhere. Even Cass connecting the hooks is enough to spell defeat. Karnan can't duel Soren on his own even with the help of Stand United, so grim moment. And now the race begins. Soren on the bottom lane, on top lane, Odo on the bot lane. Who split which is better? tell you.
Soren, I gather.
Was not a hypothetical question.
Okay, right.
More of a lead to a story that we're telling here, Trev. All right, take it away.
All right, we're going for another tower dive, hopefully. Cast doesn't connect with a death sentence this time around. Soren looking for a target as you see Ryu and Hyonin clearing out the way.
Now they forced Odo on their back, so that's okay. They buy themselves some time. Bottom lane is still pushing towards the H2K side. Wolves, honestly, they can wait about a minute here. Peel back, look at the wards. There are a couple of wards in the pit from H2K, but they likely will fade. Just gonna sweep over on my personal screen here and check. Yeah, about 90 seconds left on those wards, so exactly enough for the Wolves to go back completely into darkness. Should they held open this siege, the burden of the first move is not upon them. Just keep H2K locked in the base, and this might be what they're trying to do here.
Look at the bottom wave, bottom lane rather. Those super minions still starting to clump up. Soren's gonna shove in middle as well, while the rest of the Wolves are trying to keep H2K in the top.
Yeah, ticking time. 50 seconds towards Baron right now. Wards in that pit. They are down.
Lulex looking for a flank. Stand United is up, but Soren is very close by. Everyone there again, going to deal with the minions in the bottom lane. 30 seconds until Baron. Copenhagen Wolves still playing safe. Cast.
And watch Freeze right now. Putting up a defensive trap line, only hitting the tower or anybody close if he has a shield charged up. 8 kills, 0 deaths. He's playing safe because he can. They don't have to commit. All the time in the world. No flanks from Odo Omni either. Kasing is the only threat. No flash on him if they have that timer. Look at those wards in the pit. They're still there, but they're about to disappear. 15 more seconds. The Wolves right now are assuming that vision is dark. They're assuming H2K hasn't been here in a while, so we can bait. However, H2K, luckily for them, there's a couple of wards left. Just in time.
Out.
So the Wolves, they see that ward. They have to react.
Teleport's coming in. H2K are going to look for a fight. Odo is going to dash away from the death sentence. Baron fully regenning. Equalizers available. Super minions, look at the mini-map. Pushing into the base.
This may throw the Wolves off guard though. The race for the Scuttle Crab begins now. This gives us so much information. Good, secure by the Wolves. They may be a little surprised by those wards.
Odo is backed off to deal with the supers.
They can burn through Stand United though. They would almost have to use it on Kasing to guarantee that Odo lands.
H2K splitting their forces. Soren left to push top, while the rest of the minions
bold move.
Gonna try burn through Baron with those double Leandries and very fed freeze. Stand United's coming down onto Lulex. The equalizer's gonna split up the team, and Kasing looks for a knockup. Soren's in the back and he's down. He's got in, but he went far too deep. Defensive flashes as Lenny is trying to burn away as he's overheated. Shook gets caught. He's not gonna be able to make it to the lantern. He does! Repels to the lantern, makes his way out. Super minions are on the Nexus turret, but they've lost Soren. H2K are trying to dig deep. H2K are trying to pull a Fnatic. They are down 7,000 gold. Smite up.
Flashes up.
50. Will it be enough? Ace in the hole. Gonna tag onto Kasing. Supers. Gonna take out at least one of those Nexus turrets. Shook is going low. 2,000 HP. The torch gets dodged. Repel comes in. Flash forward. Shook is down. Shook is down, and Lulex smites the Baron. Cast, despite connecting with a death sentence, is committed to death as Hyonin gets a kill. H2K trade kills back and forth, but get the Baron.
They have the Baron buff and they're looking at middle, and look at it. 2 or 3 waves are stacked up in that middle tower. Hyonin doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to commit. He's too afraid of it. 4th Dragon's on the platter though for Copenhagen Wolves. Honestly, yeah, tricky. Late game shot calling. Good, calm shot calling from H2K. And honestly, Kasing, he won that fight. 3-man pulverized, unbreakable. He took more damage. He zoned better than Soren could do. Little Trigger happy on that Aurelia. Wasn't ready for his team to get cut off, and Lenny's equalizer just wasn't quite there. All in all, fantastic Baron fight. Really fun to watch.
Are they coming back? Here's
not clean though, not clean. Honestly, you shouldn't start this Baron when you know the Wolves are going to face sick anyways. Equalizer, look, doesn't connect. Watch Kasing. Knock, bomb. Right there, 3-man, peeling with Unbreakable. He's keeping 4 people busy. Meanwhile, Soren died. Lulex is spacing out. Look at Shook though. He's going to repel up, down, into the Lantern. That's beautiful. And then the next part of the fight, we might not see it here, but that Baron, people are aware of Shook. They're keeping it at 2K. They want him to repel in. Later on, Shook, beautiful repel as well, dodging the count from Odo Omni, but eventually ran too low on health, got killed.
Oh, look at that. Righteous Glory engage from Kasing.
Shook is top lane.
Shook is way out of position. H2K, they've sprung back to life, and they have secured an inhibitor in the mid lane. Shook should not have been there.
Nope. I would understand that the Wolves would be a little flustered right here. Definitely very, very sad to see them fall behind.
But as we've said, that was the first time the Wolves had a lead. That was the first time the Wolves had to look to close.
They still have a lead.
With this roster. And unfortunately, the Baron bait. It worked the first time, it didn't the second. Odoamne's got the backup of Hyanin.
Yes, Thornmail too. He can tank these towers. They don't even need the minions. He can just draw aggro. Look at him, Hyanin. 1 hit, 2 hits. Not the most damage in the late game, but still counts. Now look at Soren. He wants to flank. He wants to find his way to Ryu. Ryu's the man to watch. It's a boatload of AP. Just gonna pan over. 789, approaching the 800 AP mark with the Void Staff. Look at zone control from the Rylai's 2.
Death's Sense connects on Odoamne, but the tower's dropped. Lenny, not the greatest of equalizers. H2K will be happy with securing the objective and slightly disengaged. Cocoon connects on Ryu. They're going to follow through Shook. It's going to sink in that Venomous Bite, but he's down. Hyanin's got the kill. Will be a reply from Soren. It's the SNS. Then we did see Freeze connecting with those auto attacks. Soren going to look for more minions in the middle and the bottom lane. 1 for 2.
Ryu being greedy with the cleanse right here. He got cocooned. Pretty sure he had his cleanse up, but he thought there was nobody committing from the Wolves' side to that play. He eventually connected. Obviously, Soren still had a dash up. Freeze trying to hold, has to be wary. No flash on Odoamne. If Freeze knows that, he can play up. If he's scared of the taunt flash, you have to be a little more hesitant. Those rockets don't do much anymore in the late game. It's the point where you might as well sell your Magic Pen boots for attack speed boots if you run out of money, or if you have money enough. What a game though.
Shook and Soren are doing such great work at finding the targets.
Look at Freeze. 10-0-3. 13 KDA if you count the 0 as a 1. Divide by 0.
Today's LCS games brought to you by Mats, with Quick Shot and Crepo, where we can add 10 and 3 and 14 and 13. That's about as complex as it'll get.
Hey man.
Still
The Hard Knock Life on the caster desk right here.
Okay.
Barely have time for league.
Okay, we need to step back. We need to step back. There are super minions in the middle that are about to time out shortly. Copenhagen Wolves seem to be defending. Baron's worn off, but Wolves are 1 dragon away from Aspect.
Honestly, any fight can decide this game at this point. Death timers are so long, there's no Baron on the field. Dragon is up there. H2K is aware of Copenhagen Wolves. So let's see how well these teams are pre-planning their things, if they can catch each other off guard. His Vision Ward. Because later in the game, your side stones, no side stone on Lulex this game, so that means CW has double the wards at their disposal. So H2K will have to use their trinkets very well. And if CW can sweep, honestly surprised that Shook doesn't have his trinket upgraded at 43 minutes in the game, but who am I to judge? Color caster, I get the judge.
Shook.
You should have upgraded your trinket, Shook.
Shook, of course, investing into those items. We're about to see another Siege Death Sentence. Connects on Lulex.
They wanted to siege into the trap.
But he
Goes in.
follows. Righteous Glory and the Stand United. Kasing's going to get hooked up and going to unbreakable instantly. The inhibitor's down. That's the objective at H2K. Very obviously wanted.
Now, Cleanse gets used on Ryu because he walked into the trap. This might be big.
Look at that! There's
the
no
hook.
unbreakable!
Oh!
The hook just goes wide. Kasing sacrifices himself to get one more knockup. Here comes Soren.
Cleanse goes to Ryu.
Gonna get slowed by that death ray. Flash has been burned by Ryu. Copenhagen Wolves are continuing the chase. There's no flash from Cast. He's already used a lot of his actives. H2K thought about going in. Dashes over the wall. Ryu's now been caught by Soren. Chaos Storm is going to come out. Odoamne has already used the taunt. Soren's got to kill. Is this the fight that wins Copenhagen Wolves the game? Soren continues chasing down Odoamne. Odoamne needs to play for time, but Shook, what are you doing? Chilling Smite is repelled up to buy some time. Will not find the lantern. We did see Odoamne caught out, but again, this is playing for time. Lulex, he's going to get caught out. 1 versus 4, the Wolves, they might be able to get an in-hit.
This could very well be. But this start of the game right here, 5th Dragon is coming up. I almost knocked my headset off my head in this fight. Freeze is chasing Yarn here, and the biggest point was Ryu accidentally walked into a trap all the way at the inhibitor. He used his cleanse, and this changed the entire pacing and stage of what followed, because he had to constantly be scared of the CC flash from Kaz. Hook almost went wide. I even couldn't pronounce Ryu's name at that point. That's how excited I was for that. And eventually, Soren finds the equilibrium strike. 5th dragon here. Will go down.
Secured.
Aspect should be secured. So Wolves, no inhibitor though. This game is all kinds of crazy right now.
45 minutes. We've seen 2 Barons. We've seen 6 Dragons. 36 kills.
And 100% reason to remember the game.
Teleports
Baron's quick.
up for Oda if he wants to join, but nobody else from H2K is nearby.
They have to yield. Now, there's only one Nexus tower. On the side of the Copenhagen Wolves, so the Backdoor Nation could attack. Thormail is live on Oda. If you can get Yarn in there, distract the Wolves, it would be a grim way to lose this game. And obviously they're erring on the side of caution right here. Seeing ulti use, no vision, so he doesn't know how many people are waiting for him. But Soren,
he's gonna get caught out and headbutts it back. This is 1v4. He does have Guardian Angel. That's gonna pop. I think the Lantern should time out because Sing's waiting to block. They will get the kill on Soren, so that's a mistake. With Aspect and Baron.
Look at the player cam. Soren, he knows. He's wondering, did I shave this morning?
Crepo, I've seen one other game in Europe this summer where a team with Aspect and Baron lost. This SK against Rockat.
Hang on. Red carpet is still alive. Equalizer could mean a whole lot if H2K tunnel in. Sing doesn't have the Unbreakable for zoning purposes. Ryu, Cleanse is about to come up, so watch him, watch his damage, watch his spacing. Nuke Duck has been phenomenal on that earlier.
Ulex is caught. Gonna tunnel away. Yarnan gonna start chunking the inhibitor. Look at that big crit from Freeze. Oda
30 seconds. 30 seconds we need for Soren. Top lane's going in. Yarn is hitting the inhibitor.
The pressure is up. Lenny Equalizer, will he throw it? Yes! Yarnan's being melted down. Death sentence on Oda. That's going to be the tank. Forced to dash away.
Watch Freeze.
Oben stays alive, but Freeze gets the kill. He's got a 90 caliber net forwards. Here's a look at the death rate. Gonna find the tag. Rockets connecting. Kasing's gonna throw down an Unbreakable Will, but he may be the sacrificial cow. Lenny, he teleported behind. H2K, Yarnan's got the kill onto Lenny. Equilibrium strike's gonna be flashed away as Yarnan's trying to escape. 4 versus 1.
From Copenhagen Wolves that they win 4 against 5. Soren wasn't here, he wasn't there earlier. He is at the Nexus, there's no teleport anymore. Freeze even used his Mercurial Scimitar to just get the 50% movement speed boost for 1 second, and that was enough to land the damage. Wolves, 4 against 1 right now.
This has to be the game. Cast or Shook, one form of CC. Copenhagen Wolves to 10,000 gold. Baron, empowered minions. They've taken a Nexus turret. The Copenhagen Wolves are on the verge of being eliminated from the LCS, and they find a fantastic performance against the league's #2 team. H2K lose a Nexus turret. The Copenhagen Wolves will cause the biggest upset of the summer split, taking down H2K.
This is something we haven't seen in a while. Happy faces, hugs all around. Must feel good for them to be able to make the walk to the other team instead of having every week the other team walk towards you. And honestly, the picks kind of gave it away. You said it. Comfort zone, solo queue-esque almost, over team compositions. Aggression everywhere for the Wolves. Level 1, they were ready. So step into my trap, step into my web, said Shook, but it wasn't enough. Oda did not drop. But then Soren, first blood onto Ryu with the help of Shook. Counter kill by Ryu later, but it spelled what was going to be a beautiful, beautiful game to watch and cast.
What an incredible turnaround. Copenhagen Wolves put together a team composition that was reliant on individual performances. And individuals stepped up.
But strategically, the biggest thing was the lane swap. Oda fell behind. Rumble is finding the lane swap. Utility across the board. Magic penetration is all you kind of need in the early game. He was not that split push threat, especially because in the equation, you think, sure, top laner behind, split pushes even, but Soren, that guy on your screen right now, he moves from the mid lane to the top lane or bot lane, wherever he may be, and he becomes that split pusher with the added kill pressure of the ignite. Put Odoamne on the back foot. He probably knows.
Tough game.
Drawing board. Don't get lane swapped upon in this composition. Protect Ryu a little better, but so many plays. Could have turned the game around. Baron plays so close. Shook though. And he still has the mechanics.
That's for sure.
Dip, duck, and dive. Repel up. Get the lantern. Almost get out.
Yesterday, Origin drop a game to Gambit. Gambit play exceptionally. Today, H2K drop a game to Copenhagen Wolves because Copenhagen Wolves play very well. We talked about individual performances. I actually have a replay of Soren picking up a kill that it might be cracked open the base from H2K. And this is Soren's first solo kill, all split long.
Yeah, and it counts double though, because look, hit, Stand United is about to come in, and still he burns through it. Cass almost makes it a non-solo kill. He says, nope, I want that assist, I'll even use my flash. But yeah, he burns through it, and just indicative of how strong he was this game.
And the Wolves ended up taking the inhibitor turret and then the inhibitor, and then started that Baron play. Almost lost the game. Almost lost the game. Giving H2K Baron,
Okay, well.
giving them the base. They lost both of the Nexus turrets. I mean...
But Freeze, I just want you to remember, he didn't die a single time this game. Even at the end, it was really funny. He couldn't quite catch up, and then I saw him use Cleanse, but like, Freeze, that doesn't have Cleanse. Why would he use that? Yeah, Mercurial Scimitar. It gives you 50% movement speed bonus for 1 second.
Gotta
So
chase.
he got rid of his QSS debuff just because he could chase a little longer. And yeah, just showed the confidence that the Wolves had in closing out this game. They were defensive, they were afraid of the back doors, so they cleared waves. But yeah, they weren't afraid to start the Baron, weren't afraid to make this play, and this was a complete different mindset from them. Honestly, glad to see that at the end of the season.
So, well played by the Copenhagen Wolves. A surprise upset victory. And for a closer look to how they did that, I think again, be a much needed win. We're going to head over to the analyst desk.
Much needed indeed. Thank you, Quick Shot. We're joined here by Freeze and Just Because. Welcome, guys, and welcome to the desk the first time, Cas.
Thank you.
And, well, what an occasion. It must be fantastic for you to have a victory like this. It is only your first couple of games in the LCS. Tell me about the feeling.
It's amazing. I came here with the mindset to win games, and I finally won a game. It feels fucking great.
Yeah, it must feel great. And there you go, fantastic first interview as well. Let's break it down a little bit, because the Caitlyn pick, it seemed to be working out almost immediately because you got a triple kill at Dragon. Kind of talk me through the game from there.
So we picked the Caitlyn to 2v2 and just destroy the lane, but they obviously lane swap, or like they predicted our lane swap into their lane swap, and they got the lane swap off. So we were like kind of shaking in the beginning. We didn't know. We just followed what they did, and then at some fights I just got kills, and for the first time we got ahead, and it felt super great to get ahead, you know, as a team.
It's really interesting you'd say you guys wanted the 2v2, because we've had Kasing up here and he says that H2K are the, to use his words, strongest 2v2 lane. What are your thoughts on those kind of comments?
Well, I mean, they get a lot of help from top laner and the jungler. Like versus Giants, that lane was 2v4. They just permanent, like every time Adric went forward, there was a TP or a gang coming in, so they got super ahead and they abused well. And I would say they're really great. They know how to press the advantage, and they know how to set up the ganks for Lulax. That's why, and for the TPs, that's why they're a lot of time TPing bot lane or ganking bot lane, and they always snowball from it.
Yes.
In this case, though, you guys did very good, and you got really far ahead. And then at the end, it got so incredibly close, and H2K was actually knocking at your base doors. Let's get that replay up on the screen. So incredibly crucial. Soren had died right before this, before he spawned back up. I don't know who wants to run us through this. The both of you, maybe. Let's run the clip.
So, like, we know we can fight because we still have Baron and 5th Dragon, and Rumble is ridiculous with 5 Dragon. You can see the damage that Rumble does only with the ultimate and the aspect of the Dragon, and now it's about just chasing me flashing aggressively, and here they can't really do anything in order to stop me. I just play it safe so I don't get engaged by Alistar. TP from behind, picks up the kills, and this is pretty much it. We abused the Rumble ultimate with the 5th Dragon, and we knew our limits.
Yeah, Cas, what was the calling like in the camp? Because the inhibitor was almost down, you know, this was make or break.
Yeah, it didn't really matter who we hook.
Yeah.
But if we hooked someone, it was good because we could one-shot him. So yeah, I went for the Shen, I think, and the Rumble ulti was down, and then we just
Killed them all.
Yeah.
Killed them all.
Got them all. Well, Cass, I also want to kind of maybe look into how the shot calling is in general, because you've very new to the team. Shook's very new to the team. How has that been for you guys and the team when it comes to shot calling?
It's hard because I come from solo queue. I'm not really yet the perfect shot caller. Like everyone just shot calls. It's not like the support does the work, but in general, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's also not so good because it's really
Random.
random.
Yeah.
Really random. You were also saying, I think in a video a couple of weeks ago, I know it happens. Normally I'm a pretty good Morgana or Thresh, and then I get in a game here and I don't hit any skill shots. Have you both felt a little bit more at ease the last couple of games with each other?
Did you get used to it already?
Yeah,
or?
we do a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are bad moments.
Example?
We feed.
Well, it does look like you guys are in pretty good spirits now. I don't want to be kind of a party pooper, but this keeps you still in the LCS, but we all know that it is a tough road ahead and it's not necessarily in your hands. So I'd love to know kind of the mindset you got going into the last 2 games of the season, Freeze.
Well, it's do or die. We had to win every game we were going into. We didn't win yesterday. We won today, which was surprising for us as well, because H2K is a top tier team. And right now we just have to hope that SK loses every game and we win every game in order to actually be an LCS or relegation.
Cass.
Yeah, I hope we win every game. I also came to the LCS to win games to prove myself. In the beginning it was hard, because you start here and you think you're decent, and then you come here and it's all different. It's hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. But, well, you guys have got a win in your backpack, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, and with that win, the Wolves are 1 game closer to SK Gaming, and they're going to be facing Origin in our next match. We'll look at what's on the line when we return.
If you wanna be if you wanna be my baby.
We don't actually want to be the very best. We don't win 1 game.
Okay.
Oda taunts his way out and stays alive! Jan has joined this fight late. Frostbomb is out, he's hurting, but it's a double kill for Freeze. The Cocoon!
Rek'Sai here. Rek'Sai, focus Rek'Sai.
Shen after.
Nice. Shen. I'm pushing top.
Nice!
The equalizer's going to split up the team, and Kasing looks for a knocker. Soren's in the back, and he's down. He's got in, but he went far too deep. But he may be the sacrificial cow. Lenny, he teleported behind. H2K, Jan's got the kill into Lenny. The Copenhagen Wolves will cause the biggest upset of the summer split.